Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I have way too many powders to talk to you about. This is actually really embarrassing that I'm sitting here and I had a hard time letting go of loose powder. And initially this was going to be an I'm only keeping 5 type of a video, like spring cleaning. Actually, it's summer. Hello. It's just like that time of year where you need a good refresh, at least I do. And I feel honestly in the beauty room, I go from like area to area to area and I'm constantly turning over, donating, giving away, getting rid of expired makeup. Like it's a constant thing. I finish and then I start again because there's so much in here. I need to let a lot of this go. But in the middle of doing that, I'm gonna share with you guys what my favorites are and what the not favorites are. Let's just get down to the goods. So I am wearing this today. And there's a part of me that's like, wow, like I forgot how much I truly love this powder right here, you guys. This is $6 on Amazon and you get a staggering 65 grams of product in here. You really, I mean, I don't know if you can use a whole container before it goes bad. So this technically, once it is opened, should have one of those things on it, but it doesn't. How long are you good for? We don't really even know. Other than a master perfumer designed this in 1935. The fragrance is not one that's my favorite. Oh my gosh, it gives me a headache. So you kind of have to just like plow through that. It is very heavily fragranced, but the finish is truly one of the most beautiful. It gives you such a pore-free, gorgeous look to the skin. And if you are a fan of baking and you don't want an HD powder, you want something that has a little bit of pigment, that isn't so finely milled, that has a little oomph to it, this is the stuff. And for $6, you cannot go wrong with that. I have to say translucent extra coverage, and naturally neutral are my favorites. The other ones, in my opinion, lean way too warm and they almost can look kind of red-ish on the skin. So if you're looking for brightening, stick with the translucent or neutral. The other powder, you guys, that I buy duplicates of this. I have multiple shades of this. I keep this in my travel kit. I keep it in the studio. I keep one in my bathroom. This has been my very favorite powder for a very long time now, and it is the Huda Beauty powder. I like the shade Pound Cake, Cupcake, and Sugar Cookie. So I have 2 pound cakes right here. That tends to be the favorite for me as far as neutralizing and doing a beautiful job canceling out any darkness underneath the eye. I really love that these have a lot of pigment to them, and that's what I really love when I'm setting a concealer to give it that kind of smooth, color canceled out type of a thing. If I'm going in hard and I'm doing that and I'm looking like I have my makeup done and I don't want there to be that dark circle underneath my eye, then I will definitely reach for this because it really acts as a second concealer. It is that intense in pigmentation. It is beautiful. Jeffree Star, I love this powder. It is phenomenal. It smells like a waffle cone or cotton candy. It has like this nice vanilla scent, but it's not like your typical vanilla fragrance in a powder. It's like so delicious and it doesn't give you a headache and it doesn't linger. And I always say that I don't really like fragrance in skin products. It irritates my skin. This never makes me break out. It doesn't make my skin feel irritated at all. And it makes you look like you are not a human. You are a doll. Doll skin all the way. No pores. They don't exist. Your face is canceled, but in like the best way. Like that's what I would like to cancel my face, I think. Some days I just want to like be gone and I want to just like paint it back in. This allows you to do that. So these shades that I really truly love so much are Beige, Rose, and Fair. Not the biggest fan of the translucent, but this powder is phenomenal. You don't get a ton of product in here. You get 10 grams, but it is $22. A little bit does go a long way, I will say that. I don't find with this powder that I'm like scraping in over and over. It's like you put your beauty blender in and you do the thing where you like kind of pull the powder down and you don't have to like keep like attacking. Now, if you want a similar thing, but you're like, and I want to go to the drugstore, but Coty Airspun gives me a headache and I hate it. Do you have another option? Of course I do. I have this one right here from Maybelline. This is the Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. This powder is so good. It will make you think that you spent like a lot of money. And then you'll be like, wow, I didn't. I need to buy more things, pretty much. I've lost my mind at this point. Let's continue. This next powder I have been using recently, and I used it all over the face, not for baking, but just to kind of set my foundation, make it look better, make me feel good about my life and not cakey. It is a really, really beautiful product that I have used a few times, but I feel like I never took very seriously. And I always like to think of makeup as, I almost said like a romantic thing. You know how like when you're in a relationship? Okay, so sometimes with makeup, you have to like get to the third date to be like, oh my God, like you're getting more attractive because like I like your personality. That happens with makeup too, where you're like, oh my God, I didn't know that you had aloe. It's cool. You can stay. This is the Almay Smart Shade. First off, you get a heaping 28 grams of product in here. There are only 2 shades here. They don't have a lot of pigmentation, but they have just enough to make you feel like you're getting a little veil of color. This is not necessarily a great baking powder, but it is a beautiful setting powder if you just lightly want to graze the face with a fluffy brush to take away any shine and to lock in all of your cream products, but you don't want it to look super cakey or heavy. I really, really enjoy this. When I was doing the research, I was like, grape, ginseng root, ginkgo biloba. Wait, this one doesn't have aloe. Why did I keep saying aloe? There's no aloe in here. But the ingredients are really very, very interesting. There's no fragrance. It is a talc-based powder and it is made for sensitive skin. It's hypoallergenic and it's going to give you a glow. It's not like a shiny, shiny glow, but it's not a super mattifying product. So if you have skin that's in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, this is a great one for you that won't make your skin look parched and crepey and drier than it needs to be, but it will still set the face beautifully. So I love this one. Do we see my problem here? I'm like, and I love this one, and I love this one. Remember, I'm supposed to be like decluttering here. Let's get to some that I'm getting rid of. Okay, Smooth Operator from Tarte. I'm gonna get rid of this one right here. Amazonian clay is an ingredient that is in this product that is mattifying and is an ingredient that across the board you will find in a lot of Tarte products. I've always had a good time with it when I needed to mattify the face, when I needed to have a longer wearing blush. They have a great blush formula that has Amazonian clay. This one gives a little bit of that flashback white cast, like just a little bit too thin. It's that HD type of a thing that I don't really love, but I occasionally like to have on hand. And that's why I am going to keep the By Terry. This is a hyaluronic acid hydra powder. What's beautiful about this is it does not exaggerate dryness. It actually helps improve moisture and hydration in the skin, with hyaluronic acid being an ingredient here that pulls moisture from the air to the skin. I just never have an issue with this caking or exaggerating lines, and it is an invisible powder, so I'm gonna keep this one, get rid of the Tarte powder right here. I'm also getting rid of the Shape Tape setting powder. No thank you. This one made my under eye area look so bad. I used it a few times. I was like, Shape Tape and Shape Tape. This is gonna be the best thing ever. Like, what a combo. And then I was like, Shape Tape, and this is terrible. I look horrible. Like, it just clung. Another one that I played with that I kind of liked at first, it wasn't that it was terrible. It's just that it wasn't great, and you can do better. This is from Milani. This is their translucent setting powder. It's loose, it has a plastic bit on the top. You can kind of close shut and open, but what ends up happening is powder really fills heavily in this top portion right here. It's messy. It is not the smoothest powder out there, and we have better. The Becca Aqua Powder, this is the Hydra Mist. I did a dedicated video on this, and my skin looked so beautiful that day. And you guys, what you didn't know during that video, like that morning, I woke up and was like crying my eyes out. It was like the worst day ever. But I often sit down here and use makeup as an escape. And I just remember that day was really, really tough. Things were going on in my personal life, and it's kind of interesting. Like right now I'm feeling it. I am feeling it pretty big time. My grandfather had been sick. He passed away, and today is actually the 1-year anniversary. It's really weird. I can't believe a whole year has passed. I miss him all of the time. And I just look back and I'm like, I can't believe I filmed that video, but wow, that powder managed to make me look better than I felt. And that's in many ways the power of makeup and beauty and all of that, is it can help will your emotional state to maybe not the greatest place, but even if it's just like a little bit better, where you're feeling just a little more confident and like a little bit more likely to go out and embrace the world and step in the right direction, then that is powerful. Long story short, it was a great makeup day. I enjoyed this one for a while, but it always scared me using this, that it really feels like water on the skin, and I was always like so afraid that I was gonna mess up my makeup. And there were a couple of times where I did, so I'd always hesitate just a little bit using this product. And then now I'm like, well, it's so watery, and like, I don't know, it's been sitting in my thing for like a year, and like it's probably not good anymore, like to plow it all over the face, and I have so many others that I love. So this one I'm saying goodbye to. But you were fun for a minute. It's kind of a fun product. This one right here, I've tried to love. I don't love it. I love the pressed version. These right here, ooh, best powder. Cannot live without. So good. This one makes me greasy within 2.2 seconds. However, a lot of people that I have seen positively review this product, they have drier skin than I do, and it just gives them that glowy finish, creamy type of a thing that's maybe a little bit juiced up from here, which is what I like to use. So if you have very dry skin, maybe you will love this. For me, it's just one of those items that I'm like, it's really expensive, I'll just like admire it in my drawer. But we're done with those days. And then you guys are just gonna be like, ugh. At least that's how I feel. I'm getting rid of this one too, the La Mer powder. It's really almost all the way gone anyway, but it's like so heavy. The jar is so heavy, it's so expensive. I don't think I will repurchase this one because I just like a little more pigmentation and hold with my makeup so that I can bake. And this just, did their formula change? Because I have to tell you guys, I use some of their serums, and recently they started making me kind of be irritated. I don't know, and so I didn't want to waste one of my serums. I started putting it on the body, and it's just kind of, I don't know, did they redo their formula? Does someone know? Let me know in the comments. All right, moving right along, for a powder that I'm going to hang on to, that I didn't think I would. This is from Pretty Vulgar, and this is the Powder Room Matte About It. So this is a setting powder, however, it is a mattifying setting powder. But what you can do is take a smaller brush like this in here and then just kind of spot correct what's shiny. Most of the loose powders that I have are like, will hydrate the skin, won't look cakey, will leave like a nice soft luminous finish. And this one is just like, no, we're gonna mattify you. It's matte. And I need to hold on to at least one loose powder that provides that. So I am gonna hang on to this. It is available at Sephora. I'm also gonna hang on to the Milk Makeup. Yeah, I was reading up on this and I'm like, talc free, silicone free, oil free, blurring powder. This one, do not bake with. It will do that thing where it clings. But if you use this all over the face to set the face, it's a very, very gorgeous powder. So I am gonna hang on to this one. Same reason I'm gonna hang on to this one as well, because it just kind of like seduced me. It has the clean label on Sephora, meaning that it's formulated without a lot of questionable ingredients. Now you have to go with your own comfort zone as far as clean makeup is concerned. Do your own research. Some people are really on board with it, others are not. I really do love Cover FX. The performance of their products are incredible. And as someone who is sensitive to gluten, I know that I really should be looking at all of the labels. My sensitivity is not so high that I typically see a huge issue with topical products containing wheat, but it kind of is what it is. Like, my body does not have the capability of digesting it. So there is something in my head as far as like, am I irritating my skin unknowingly? And it just always feels really good to me when the call out says that there is no gluten in a formula. This is also talc free, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful product. It's finely milled, but it's not like an HD powder where it's just like disintegrating in your fingertips and kind of doing just that you know, to blur. This actually does add a tiny bit of coverage, like very, very itty bitty, but it's there, and it's just like a nice hybrid, and I like the ingredients quite a bit. So I'm gonna hold on to that guy there. This is the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I recently traveled with the little mini container of it, and I was like, wow, I forgot how good this was. Like, this is so nice. And after I used that little sample, I was like, I know I have more Laura Mercier in here somewhere, and I like rifled through, and I'm like, just what I need. More powder. So this is working its way back in, but it's a very loved holy grail just kind of #1 item from Laura Mercier for good reason. It's a beautiful powder. And the nice thing about this one is you can use it all over the face, but you can build it, you can touch up with it, and you can also bake. This is sad. The Pro Filter powder from Fenty. I love Fenty. I don't love this. It made my face look weird. There's really sometimes not much more to it than that. Like, makeup does not perform the same on everyone, and sometimes the easy answer is it just didn't look good on me. It caked on me, it made things crease, it grabbed in areas I didn't want it to grab, and as much as I love Fenty, after a few times trying a product, they don't get more dates. Collab Beauty. Love their mascara, love their eyeshadows. So many things in this line that I love. Their powders are okay. They're not bad. They're not phenomenal. They're around $14. This one right here is their translucent. It has the white lid. And then this guy right here, I believe, comes in 3 or 4 shades. And the reviews, even on Sally's, where you purchase Collab Beauty products, are kind of hit and miss. It's like, I kind of like it, I kind of don't, I kind of like it, and that's how I feel. And right now, I don't have room for lukewarm. Very bulky packaging for the amount of product that you get in here. You only get 10 grams, and it's just like ginormo. I don't know, I find that kind of irritating. Like, either just like give me a lot, or just be your size. Laura Mercier, this is the translucent, more glowy powder. I do like this. I think the dim lit powder, let's call it dim wit. The dim light powder from Hourglass, the ambient one, is my favorite to just kind of diffuse and give that nice glow. I don't typically like using a loose because it's a little harder to control, and sometimes you can pick up too much on the brush and it'll sweep in one area a little bit too heavily if you're not totally perfect about whapping off excess and all of that. Like, this is just more user friendly. But in terms of a loose powder that has that candlelit effect, the Laura Mercier one is gorgeous, and it doesn't make me overly greasy the way that this one does. So I'm keeping this one. That one's a no. Also, RCMA No Color Powder. I was hooked on this for the longest time. I have no idea how long this has been sitting in my drawer, and it started to kind of gross me out. I'm like, I should probably get rid of it. I did have a little bit of a laugh when I went online and I was like, let me find the ingredients. I hit ingredients and it literally says contains talc. And I'm like, well, what else does it contain? What else is in here? Is it just straight talc? Is this just baby powder? I don't know. But I'm getting rid of it because, let's say it all together, I found better. And I like so much that's over here that I can part with this. I do have products to try for the future already. I want to share with you the 2 items that I will be updating you guys with in the near future as I test them out. These were the only 2 powders in here that I was like, ooh, I want to give like a thorough try, like first try. I have a mattifying powder from Lancome, and then Stellar Beauty has a bunch of powders. And then you guys, you know who's coming out with powder that I'm actually so excited about? Like, I literally, like, I feel like I could write in my journal, like, Dear Diary, today I went on Trend Mood and discovered that Pat McGrath is coming out with foundation and powder, and like, I have a calendar date. Like, I'm like, like, I can't wait. So her stuff should be coming out end of July, and I am so excited. I love Pat McGrath. I love her products, and I have a feeling that the skin products are gonna be absolutely beautiful. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, I did a pretty piss poor job of narrowing down my collection, but at least we talked about a lot of really beautiful products, and I will be narrowing this down even further. And I am gonna be doing this with my foundations, blushes, highlights. If you guys wanna see that here on my channel, let me know specifically what category you find the most interesting. Otherwise, maybe I will just do kind of like an extended Snap declutter or something like that. You can always follow me over on Snap and IG. I will leave all of my information in the description box below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any of my upcoming adventures in makeup addiction. I am here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I hope you guys come and hang out again soon. Ring that bell, be notified, and come hang out. All right, I love you guys, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah.